So you want to record talking head videos in your studio like this with a Sony ECM-B1M, or you can't decide of whether you want to get this M1. Now I just picked up this M1. I have another video on my channel that's been pretty popular that I tested outdoors, kind of do some walk around tests, tried a few different modes. It was when this first microphone was released. It's been getting a lot of hits, so I decided to pick this microphone up and do a number of other video comparisons. Now, you probably didn't even recognize me that I was the same guy from that video if you had no idea and you were just searching this again. And you might have watched the original video and you're like, this guy looks different. That's because I've lost 100 pounds since that video, and I still maintain. I woke up today and still 100 pounds down. Man, it feels good. It feels good. But yes, I am the same guy. I was kind of chunky back when I made that video. That's great. So today we're gonna be testing it more in a studio environment. And can you use this ECM-B1M or the M1 in a studio environment like this, where it really depends on the distance and how far away you are. And I'm going to do a few different distance tests. Right now, I am currently like less than an arm's length away on my Sony a7S III. I'm like around 20 millimeters right now. I'm able to get very close to this camera now. If I went to 16, I could even get even closer. That's where these microphones are mainly designed to be at, is like really close proximity. So the interesting thing will be how much and how far can you get away from it, because this camera is still a little bit closer than I would like it to be for a typical talking head video in my studio. I like to have it set up a little bit further back with some lighting and some all that fuss. I like to see the table that it's sitting on, but right now, because the tripod is sitting on the table, you can't really see the table, so I'm kind of do a more zoomed in shot of me. Let's switch over to the M1 and give you an idea of what this sounds like right here. Exact same settings, just with this microphone versus the B1M. And now this is the exact same setup with the M1 microphone. Now, I am going to say that this B1M, I'm a little biased to this thing because this thing does have a little bit more low end in my opinion. So listen to your ears, try to compare the last set versus this one. I'm assuming that this has more low end because it does have more capsules. This uses 8 where the M1 just uses 4. So, and this is a lot longer than the M1, so it can, I don't know, use more magic, I guess. But I think this one sounds better. The M1 is definitely more portable and it has less handling noise due to the fact it's so small. I think the reason why this one has handling noise is because just because it's bigger, it just rattles more as it moves around. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. But how does these two microphones compare when you're super close to your camera like this in a studio? If you like one over the other, or they're both about equal, well then, if they're both about equal to your ears, then get the M1 because it's got a lot more modes that you can use and utilize. But, you know, this thing is no slouch. Obviously, with those 8 capsules. Let's switch it up and move back a little bit and see what the distance would be like for a traditional talking head video that I would record. Alright, so this is the distance that I typically stand away from a microphone. You got it at about 24 millimeter focal length. I like a little bit of this desk showing. I like, just to have this kind of framing in my shot, which requires my camera to be a little bit further away. Like, I'm reaching my arm out and I'm still not able to touch the lens. And so it's, like, I don't know, an arm length and a half away, maybe? I don't know. It's not super far, but like I said, this is how I like it. So is there a big difference between the last time where the microphone was literally sitting like right here on this desk, sitting like right in front of me, or what? Now let's switch over to the B1M and hear how it differs, or if it doesn't differ. Alright, here we are back with the B1M, and I'm in the exact same location, haven't moved at all. What does the audio quality sound like? Once again, over an arm's length away, this is exactly how I have my studio space set up for my talking head videos. I just slap this camera on, boom, and you go. It's already kind of set up here. I really need to do a video of this setup because it's pretty awesome. But anyway, that's for another day. How does the audio quality sound like between these two? And you know, we're gonna definitely have to go a little bit further just to kind of mess around. But how does this sound? You know, like I could like step back and walk back here. You know, this is where I don't think this microphone is necessarily made for something like this, but you know, you could get this and use it for everything and then eventually upgrade. I typically use a Rode NTG5, which is right here at a frame, and I go into my K3M because I love that dang auto mode, just like this microphone. The auto mode is amazing. I've been using it for this entire video. Just slap that dial on auto and just let the camera decide. One less thing to think about when you're recording. It's so good, so good. And for giggles, you know, let's just I'll throw on my NTG5 and we'll do a quick comparison of what my normal studio setup sounds like. And here we go. We are on the NTG5 now in the studio. So look, this thing is super close to my mouth. Like this is the distance. It's like just on the top of my pinky right here. So, you know, it's super close. And that's kind of how I typically run it. This thing should sound blow those other ones out of the water just because of how close of proximity it is to my mouth. So if it sounds anywhere near as good as this setup, then, well, it could make me rethink my setup again. No. This is really far away. Gosh, like maybe three times the distance as originally before, where the microphone was like right in front of me. So this is on the Sony B1M, and it's super far away. So I would probably never use it in this situation for me personally, and it's, you know, you're probably gonna get a lot more reverb and stuff like that with this distance. This is the B1M. Now I'm going to switch over to the M1 so you can hear how much better with distance the B1M is versus the M1. Alright, now we are back on the M1. So this is going to give you an example of a distance test for this. Like I said, it's about 3 times longer than the original one. I would never ever use it like this, but you know, this is a YouTube video. I'm trying to give you guys an example of what it sounds like when you're further away from this microphone versus the B1M, because I think that was one of the things in the comments of my original video is like, everybody wanted to know, well, how much better does it sound than the M1 when it's further away? Does those 8 capsules make that big of a difference? Let's even go further. So I'm on a rolling stand right now, and as you can see, now I'm close, now I'm close to the camera, so I just want to, you know, leave this here. I'm close. This is like vlogging distance, right? So you can kind of hear that example of me running. All right. And you can also hear how the Sony microphone does with that auto mode and just adjusting the levels. So this is all the way back over here. Now, let's push this all the way. And yeah, now you can see my Christmas tree, and you can see what time of the year it is when you're filming this. This is not a Christmas video, but you can see my wonderful man cave Christmas tree. So this is about, the tripod is pushed all the way to the edge of the wall. This room is 8 by 8, so this is roughly about 7 to 8 feet away from me right now. I'm standing up against the back of the wall. This is what the M1 sounds like. Now let me go run over and switch the B1M so you can hear what that sounds like. Alright, now this is the B1M with the same exact distance, about 7 to 8 feet away from me, all the way back up against the wall. How is this sounding? You know, it is, and will be a great test. I'll run up again, do the same sort of thing, jump right up in front of the camera. So this is like vlogging distance right here. How does the microphone auto adjust the levels? and how much better does it sound when you're like right here up in front of it, and then I run all the way back over here, and this is all the way back again to the back, the B1M. This is the beast. This is the one that I use on a daily basis. I literally just picked up this M1. And I picked it up on a sale, and then now I'm going to kind of go halfway. This is kind of like in the middle between those two, so you can hear that too. But this is a great, this M1 is a great microphone. And it was so cheap that I just had to pick it up for Black Friday sale with the EDU discount on top of the Black Friday sale, which just made this thing just incredibly cheap. B&H is definitely the best way to go for your stuff if you don't know about an EDU account. And I'm telling this to you because if you use my links and you use an EDU account with B&H, I don't get any affiliates from EDU sales. But I don't care because I want the best for you guys. So listen, if you are a student or a college teacher, you just use your email address and you can sign up for the EDU account and you get incredible deals. That's just something to look into. Just type it in Google EDU B&H and you can figure out how to sign up for that. It's so good. But anyway, you guys, if you like this content, I'm going to do more comparisons between the M1, the B1, the M1, the NTG5, all those. I'm just going to go to town on comparing this microphone to a lot of different things because I just bought it for that reason. It's just literally to compare it because I like the B1M. If you already have a B1M, you don't really need the M1 unless you want to do all the stereo crazy modes. But I just bought this because I got a ZVE 10 Mark II and I wanted something compact and to compare this versus the B1M. Anyways, for all that Sony type of content and audio stuff, subscribe, like this video, and you guys know that I will see you in the future.